Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing great today. Okay, so there's a lady called Doja Cat. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there know Doja Cat. She's a singer. And she just released a song titled Paint the Town Red. In this song, Doja Cat did her best to promote Satanism in a way that I haven't quite seen any other artist promote Satan. She wasn't even basically promoting Satan. She just became like a conduit. She just brought satanic worship full blown to the mainstream. She took satanic worship and fused it with music, and she called it a musical track. That's what her song, Paint the Town Red, is all about. Taking satanic worship, fusing it with sounds, and making it into a musical track with lyrics. So, you know, over the years, I have warned us that these guys are coming. I warned us that we're going to get to that point where we walk into that satanic century where everything that used to be done in the secret, everything that used to be done in the church of Satan will come out in the open. The sacrifices, the ritualistic exercises, everything they do, those things that are usually so gory and so irritating and disgusting that they are done in the deepest of all darkness, you will start seeing them come out in the open. Because by doing that, they are desensitizing the human population so that we get to a point of acceptance. This is what people like Doja Cat have made themselves available to the devil to accomplish. I'm not going to go into breaking down everything that happened in their music video because pretty much almost every music video they bring out today is just full-blown satanic worship. I mean, I don't know which music video out of Hollywood today that has come out that is not just satanic worship fused with sounds. Almost all, to the point of even 90-something%. So Doja Cat is just taking it to another level, just one of the many. They are all the same. They feel like they have entertained you enough. It's now time to get you to worship their master, whether you like it or not. That's what time it is. So you choose whether to tune them out or you tune them in. I made my choice a very long time ago. But let me tell you what troubled me about Doja Cat's music. This song that she did. I want to tell you why I chose to talk about this particular one. About 3 months ago, I did a video on the Grim Reaper that showed up at the coronation of King Charles. Remember? It's on my channel. During the coronation, Grim Reaper just showed up. And so I felt like there was a need for me to do a video to explain who this Grim Reaper is. Let's see whether there's a biblical context or explanation to the Grim Reaper. And I took us to the Bible, and I'm going to read that same passage again. In the book of Revelation chapter 6 verse 8, the Bible says, "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, which is wars, and with hunger, starvation, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." You might want to go watch that video again so you can see how I broke all of this down. That is the Grim Reaper with the scythe. That Grim Reaper is nothing but the demon of death. That's who the Grim Reaper is. And that Grim Reaper showed up at the coronation. And I explained that this was very symbolic and significant because it was showing us, the people of the world, that we have just entered into a new era of wars. No longer rumors of wars, but wars and death on a scale we have never quite seen since the history of this world. That's why I call it the satanic century. The century in which the maker of all things will eventually show up and say, I've had it, enough. And then you hear that story of the second coming becoming reality. It's in this century. And so, little one, the Doja Cat, decided that in this very satanic worship that she calls a song, that she was going to make herself available as a conduit through which the devil can market himself and project himself into the minds and souls of the unsuspecting, ignorant population of the world, especially the younger ones. The spirit of death will now go through her and reach everybody. I've done seminars on music and how powerful music is. How that the music you listen to does not seek your permission to get into your subconscious. It's the only thing known to man on earth that it doesn't ever seek your permission. It just goes straight into your subconscious. It's music. And so you can imagine the spirit of death going through a music and going straight into your soul. What do you see? You're going to see a high level of suicide cases reported amongst young people, especially those who will listen to this song. Suicide is going to become the order of the day, mostly for people who will be addicted to this song, because it's a no-brainer. The spirit of death is going through her and reaching homes that accept this satanic worship called a song. Doja Cat was just a singer. You know, these singers who are very exuberant and passionate and eager to go get them, go to Hollywood and shut it down and show what I got. And she got to Hollywood and realized Hollywood wasn't what she thought it was. And she was so heartbroken, dejected, sad, packed up, left, and told everyone, I'm leaving even music as a whole. And then all of a sudden, Doja Cat surfaces again. By the time she surfaces, she had taken the devil's bait to sell her soul to the devil. And in this particular video, she makes it abundantly clear that her soul has been sold to the devil, even from the beginning when she gouged her left eye. You know what that means already? Yeah? You know what that means? The symbol of Illuminati. She tells you that this is who my allegiance goes to. What you're about to watch is an Illuminati shit show. And that's exactly what happened. She has become a conduit. She said, I said what I said. I want the fame instead. Remember back in the days when Eminem would say, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. She didn't know, probably, that it was going to get like this, but I think she does know. She sold her soul to the devil, and she is seemingly happy that she did. Riding a beast in her music video, just like the woman dressed in scarlet spoken of in the Bible, riding the beast. And then she shows you where she is feeding the beast with fresh meat, which signifies that a lot of souls are going to be killed killed and fed to this beast through her music, through her song. This is the first video you find anywhere on the internet that explains that to you. That the meat she is carrying and she is feeding to that beast that they didn't reveal on camera, that meat is the souls of men and women who will die by virtue of listening and getting addicted to this particular song, because she made it clear that the song you're listening to is a song about a demon lord that represents death. Scythe is in the hand. The whole thing is called a grim reaper. It's in your Bible. Read it. She even said, let me read you the lyrics. Hold on one second. In this part of her lyrics, she says, I am a demon lord. Full of what? I ain't seen the horse. So she's telling you that the same pale horse the Bible spoke of and the spirit of death, the grim reaper, is what she is talking about here. A demon lord registered clear. And then she says, full of what? I ain't seen the horse. Which horse? The same pale horse that the Bible talk about. The pale horse in the scriptures. In another part of her lyrics, she says, she the devil. She the devil. This is an incarnation of evil. But not just any kind of evil, but death. Isn't it amazing that I had just exposed Grim Reaper at the coronation, and another artist is today showcasing the Grim Reaper in her music video and allowing this evil to be projected into homes all over the world. You know, like I said, I'm not going to go into breaking down every single thing that she did in that video, because it was satanic Illuminati symbolism and pure, full-blown satanic worship from the start to the finish. Someone else has done a very fantastic job of it, and I'm going to attach the video to this very one now so you can see it. But why I am making this is to call you or your attention, to call your attention to the dangers associated with ever listening to this song. What this song will do to young people, to old people, to anyone who gets addicted to it, is you will think you are enjoying. You will think you are enjoying the sound and the beat. You will think this is just fun. You are just having fun. Before you know it, where death and misfortune and suicidal thoughts will come from, you will not be able to explain. But they will suddenly overwhelm you out of nowhere. That's why she's feeding the beast with fresh meat. You are the fresh meat with which she will feed her beast that she has sold her soul to. If you don't trash this song and make sure it is banned in your home, in your library, in your offices, and wherever you go, they want to make sure that every single person on this earth embraces the worship of Satan. Remember, every time I talk about the Satanic 10 Commandments by Alice A. Bailey, you see, she made it clear in that 10 Commandments. She said we need to profane the arts. We need to make the arts profane and evil. It was a very long time ago. It was a process. And they started, and look where they have come to today. You see, I published, I think it was a 4-part series on the Satanic Century. And you saw how that those agents of the devil, Nicholas and Zena LaVey, were talking as if they were really making sense, to the point that a lot of people were almost beginning to believe them and agree with them. They tell you, oh, we don't believe in evil and in good. We don't believe in devil and God. We don't believe in... But why do we have imageries, things that point to satanic representation? You see horns, you see even a broken horn, you see the eye gouged out. How do we see all these things and you tell me you don't believe in the devil? One man said that the worst and the greatest thing the devil has done to mankind is making them believe he doesn't exist. It's the greatest lie he ever told to mankind. Not to me, because I know he exists. And I know my God exists as well. Where do you stand? Where do you belong?
For the last few months now, Doja has been acting what many people have been calling demonic. It all started when she shaved her head and eyebrows and then began all her strange satanic antics. We all remember the Eyes Wide Shut themed party she threw, with all the celebrities in attendance wearing cloaks. I know you guys remember the Masonic cake at this party. After that party, we went over how she then got a bunch of satanic tattoos and started posting a bunch of satanic imagery on her Instagram. Her Instagram became full of satanic imagery, how it remains to this day. Doja went from a normal-looking pop star to a gothic Satanist overnight. Even I was shocked to see the overnight change. Don't get me wrong, ever since 2021, before all of this, I knew Doja Cat was a Masonic puppet. Her music video with The Weeknd, You Right, was full of Masonic imagery. Doja was seen singing over the checkerboard floor with a bunch of other occult imagery, revealing who she truly worships. But I still wasn't expecting Doja to go from silly and perky like she was when she first got in the industry to this. This is Doja Cat today, far from what she was just a few years back. People have been blaming her actions on many things, and for a while, I was looking into it, trying to figure it all out. I now have a complete understanding of what Doja has been doing, and it all connects back to this new music video. In Doja Cat's new music video, Paint the Town Red, not only do we see a bunch of satanic imagery, but we see Doja reveal what all of this imagery represents. This music video was straightforward with the satanic imagery, and this is why so many of you have requested I look into it. The video starts with a record being played on a record player. This opening scene was interesting, and it reminded me of the video of Taylor Swift and Ice Spice. Taylor Swift's video started with the record player, then instantly showed Taylor showing Masonic imagery. It's the same with Doja's new music video. It starts with the record player, then cuts to open Masonic imagery. In the Taylor Swift music video, the record player represents how the music was magic and how it's putting a spell on the audience. In this video, it appears to represent the same exact thing. After showing the record player, we see the new Doja, or what she named herself Scarlet, sitting on a chair when out of nowhere, she removes one of her eyeballs and places it on the table. She then pushes the eyeball off the table, starting the video. This is obvious Masonic imagery, as we know the Masons have an obsession with the one-eye symbolism, symbolizing the Masonic all-seeing eye. This early on identifies that this music video is going to be full of Masonic imagery. The video then continues with the eye falling into the clouds, as we then see Doja Cat riding a giant horned demon beast soaring through the clouds. Doja is openly showing herself riding the beast, and this imagery only gets worse from here. This scene represents Doja falling from grace, just like when Lucifer was casted out of heaven. This is why they show Doja's eye falling, and then they depict her riding a giant demon in the clouds. She is depicting her fall from grace. From the looks of it, we can see Doja is happy with this decision, as she appears excited and happy. It's actually what the whole song is about, but we will get into that in a bit. After this, we can see Doja now dressed in all red, making her way to the Reaper. What's interesting is that in Taylor Swift's music video with Ice Spice, Taylor also has a similar scene with her Reaper. We know occultists have an obsession with the god of death, or the Reaper, as the pagans used to make sacrifices to the deity. This scene represents Doja flirting with death, as in order for Doja to be reborn, which is the entire concept of her new project, she must first go through a spiritual death, hence the Reaper. The very next scene is Doja appearing as a blue demon with horns on her head. She can be seen being held by Lucifer in a burning end. Now, we can see the eyeball behind her, which now appears to have become an embryo. In this scene, we see Doja after being reborn, depicting her final transformation as a literal demon. This is where Doja cuts the cord of the embryo and is born again. The scene after this one was interesting, as it showed Doja with a bunch of meat, as if she was feeding some sort of demon. The video was obviously depicting Doja's fall from grace, as the video starts with her fall from the sky all the way to the burning end. Doja is symbolically telling the world she sold her soul and she's okay with meeting a burning end as long as she can be famous and have it all. This is basically what she sings in the lyrics of the song. In the song, Doja is singing about not caring about what she said and that she'd rather be famous instead, even compares herself to the devil and to a demon. In the opening line, she sings, "I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care. I paint the town red." Openly, Doja Cat is admitting that she sold out in order to be famous. She admits she doesn't care about what she does. Being famous was more important to her. On the bridge of the song, she sings, "She's the devil," which she repeats throughout the song. Doja is now openly comparing herself to Lucifer. She continues on the second verse by singing, "Money really all that we fiending for. I'm doing things they ain't seen before. Fans ain't dumb, but extremists are. I'm a demon lord." These lyrics align perfectly with her rebirth imagery. She's embracing her new self. It's obvious this song and music are telling a dark story, but what exactly is that story? Well, it's the story of selling your soul for fame in the industry and what that price truly is. In order to understand my point, we have to rewind back about a year to the time when Doja first started to have problems in the industry. Back in March 2022, Doja said out of nowhere she was quitting music. She blamed it on the industry and her fans. Not long after she claimed to be quitting, Doja went and shaved her head and her eyebrows. If you saw my original video on this situation, then you should remember how I broke down that the Egyptians used to shave off their eyebrows in order to mourn the death of a cat. Cats were seen as a symbol of the goddess Bastia to the Egyptians, so this was a tradition to honor the cat goddess. See, Doja just so happens to shave her eyebrows right as she was about to go through this death and rebirth ritual. It is no coincidence that she did this right before all this death and rebirth imagery would start. It was because this was supposed to represent Doja's death. This moment where Doja shaved her eyebrows was representing the moment of her spiritual death. After that, Doja Cat throws that Eyes Wide Shut themed party, where she comes dressed as the woman who gets sacrificed in the Eyes Wide Shut movie. This character she portrays gets sacrificed and taken out, and this is why Doja came dressed up as her. Doja is going to be sacrificing herself in order to be reborn. Occultists have inverted the Christian rebirth process by mocking it through Lucifer. Instead of being reborn through Christ, they are being reborn through the philosophy of Lucifer's do what thou wilt, living free from morality. This was obviously symbolizing her death and rebirth ritual she would be playing out with this upcoming album. After showing herself as a sacrifice offering for her birthday party, we start to see the demon Doja Cat be born. Doja Cat starts tattooing demonic tattoos on herself and posting demonic posts on Instagram. Then, just last month, we saw Doja announce Scarlet is here, dropping her new music video where she depicts herself covered in blood, reborn as Scarlet. Everything Doja Cat was doing was leading up to this very moment. In my opinion, Doja Cat sold her soul in order to be rich and famous. She was willing to do whatever it takes to make it. She is obviously an occultist, as she frequently uses occult imagery within her music videos and Instagram photos. This is why I found it hilarious when she was acting like the people calling her out for her demonic behavior were reaching, even though she was the one choosing to put all this satanic imagery out there. It's obvious Doja was chosen, and she's going to be one of the stars that make it to the very top of the industry. This new music video openly shows exactly what Doja is about. At the beginning of the video, the record player starts to play, showing that this is what her music is all about, making her fans fall from grace. At the end of the video, after her eye becomes an embryo and she is reborn, she puts the eyeball back in her head, showing that this is a part of her and this is who she now is. Some people might think Doja is doing all of this to troll, but this is not the case. Doja has been showing Masonic imagery since early on in her career. She has been doing it all subtly. Now she's being fully open with the satanic imagery. We have to remember Doja is signed to RCA Records, which is under Sony Music, a massive record label. Everything she does is planned out by her team. Sony is a Masonic-ran record label, which is all about pushing the Masonic agenda. The label wouldn't have signed Doja if she hadn't taken the oath. They only give that much fame to those that sell their soul. For those that idolize Doja, open your eyes and see things for what they really are. Doja is trying to guide her fans to a burning end. Don't fall for the manipulation. These artists all choose to sell out for fame and fortune on a route to a burning end. And the worst part of it all, they take their fans along with them. Doja's admired by millions of young girls who listen to every word she sings. They are watching her acting demonic and want to be just like her, especially since kids love to watch celebrities rebel. This is exactly what Doja is depicting, a celebrity rebelling against God. These young souls are going to follow behind Doja because she is the star they build up to be worshipped. We must remember what purpose the music in the industry plays: manipulation. Those in control of Doja want all of her young fans to follow right behind her. Don't be manipulated. Protect your mind, body, and soul from this evil. Like I always say, we must remember that every day we wake up, our souls are at stake. And we also must remember to help those who can't see the truth find the truth.